back to Encompass. We're having a few guests today, but first off, Laurel and I would like to reflect on our Beachcombers Advanced Toastmasters Club meeting on Monday night, just the other day actually. And it was a big preparation because we were having a guest speaker, and it was the Bishop John Stevens from the Anglican Church, the New Westminster Diocese. How it started was with our member Loretta asking our new local reverend at her church, St. Bart's, if she would like to be a guest speaker, a local speaker, because we're all about community, and we knew she was new to the community, and we thought she had a lovely voice as well. She has a very artistic background. She couldn't make it, so she recommended to Loretta that she contact the bishop. Well, that started a process, and the bishop really was delighted to do it. So what we learned was how wonderful that there was such an interest in presenting to our group. And we knew in Toastmasters that we don't really focus on religion or sex or politics content, but by developing a theme of tradition, we let him know that that's our interest. We gave him a few ideas. Loretta facilitated that, and he delivered. What a wonderful person. How supportive of us as well. And I'll write him a thank you card this week. I was the first responder interviewing him. And again, I wanted to sort of keep that tradition theme alive. So talking and debriefing with the other members, that's very helpful. We can so easily get sidetracked. And then we had a Q&A session, and the questions were very heartfelt, very relevant, and he was very pleased to answer them. We all learned a lot, but my takeaway was how someone in that leadership position would make the time and really join us in a dialogue that touched us all and gives us so much to think about moving forward. So that's my reflections, and I'll hand it now over to Laurel.
Thank you, Johanna, for giving the background on how that meeting came about. I have to echo Johanna's endorsement of Bishop John as being very pleasant, congenial, interested, and interesting person. I don't know what I expected from a bishop, but I was surprised. So I must have had different expectations. Taking the time, as Johanna said, to be with us and stay for the whole meeting, and just the genuine interest in the diversity of our club, we had quite a few different members, representatives of several clubs, and some guests being there, and everything seemed to be worthy of his, acknowledgement and head nodding and interest. And I'm beginning to wonder now whether maybe that the attitude, his demeanor, is a indication of someone who really is very spiritually connected. Which that would be a pleasant thought that makes me interested. I think that garners interest in kind of living a life that's in harmony with our spiritual nature, which is definitely what he's presenting. And the feeling of openness and acceptance, the interest, his scientific mind that he mentioned several times, and just the I think I had enjoyment and delight of people, of this world, of where we are, of being here. And one statement that stayed with me particularly was his sense, when he mentioned that there's enough, in the Anglican tradition, there's enough there to keep him satisfied. Uh, so we all know no institution's perfect, but there's enough there, right? And I really appreciate that, because it's just an acknowledgement that, yeah, things aren't perfect, and we're never looking for perfection, but we're wanting to find enough to keep us interested, enough that we want to be involved with, enough to keep us going and satisfying us. And that was so realistic and so down to earth, and so in line, I think, with how we generally make decisions. It wasn't like an edict coming from on high. It was, oh, I've been in this church, in this tradition for a long time, and I feel I'm answering questions, asking questions, it's evolving, and just felt really good. So thank you for everyone and everything that brought about that meeting. It was, I think, generally taking us in the right direction, in a good direction.
Was on there. There it was, the first one on the first picture on there was your meeting, which Joanna, you had told me about, but I didn't know exactly when it was going to happen. All of a sudden, there it was. Now, this meeting with Father John, or Bishop John, excuse me, and I was so thrilled to see that it was there. So immediately, of course, I clicked on it, opened it, started watching it, and what both of you have said, Father or Bishop John was wonderful. I love that he was so open and so soft spoken and easygoing. And I must say also what I really liked about him is, first of all, you mentioned something about thinking about going back into churches, or liking churches, but not wanting to go to churches, listening to the music, but not necessarily want to sort of get back into that, if I'm understanding what you said correctly. And another lady also said that she was thinking about going back into religion, or getting into religion and church for the first time, but wasn't quite sure how to go about it. And he just said, just go and knock on the door of the bishop or whatever of your church or whatever, and just ask if you could go in and chat with them. And which I thought was so lovely. All you need to do is just to go and speak to the minister of the church and say, these are my feelings, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure, and I have these questions. Oh, he says, just go in and speak to somebody. They'd be lovely to talk, they'd be happy to talk to you, which I thought was really warm and open and friendly. And so I was really impressed with that. And yeah, and I just liked that it was open. And I walked away at the end of it. I knew that I just wanted to sit down and have a big mug of hot tea and sit down and talk to Bishop John for hours. I know you were feeling that way too, Laurel. I I would love what that would be a phenomenal opportunity. I could sit and talk to that man forever. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a nice surprise to find it on the website, on the YouTube subscriptions, what I'm trying to say. And so I really enjoyed watching it thoroughly. You both did a great job of putting it all together and putting it on. And I'm so impressed with Bishop John. Do want to speak to him for hours and hours. And that's about it. But thank you for doing it. I loved it.